Hello, and welcome back to the Alexander Society. We're back with another mystery docket. I am your host, who may or may not have played some video games to train, and with me today is my co-host, Derek, who only need about an hour and 15 minutes. How are you doing, Derek?
What the fuck? What does that mean? What does that? What?
Our story takes place over the course of an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay.
Or are you asking about mine on the video games?
But never mind. We'll talk about it. It's just so confusing.
You'll understand it later, but like I really tailor mine to be like just. Well, that was a weird intro, but it's related to the episode. Like I do direct relation, not like themed relation like you.
That was so random. That was so out of left field. I was so confused.
Yeah, I'm sure. So, what you drinking tonight, brother?
Oh man, what am I drinking tonight? Let's see. So for my beers, I got just something that looked good on the shelf at the liquor store. It's a Polaner.
It's a beautiful design.
Oh, it's actually a German import, so it's gonna have a pretty can. It's a Polaner Münchner Lager, which is actually brewed in Bavaria. I'm pretty sure all brewed in Munich.
Dope.
Yeah, it's a 4.9. They come in 1 pint cans, which I love. I wish that was standard for beer. Come in 1 pint. And it's just a beautiful like gold can with like the monk's head logo on it. And just like a Kolsch skyline of Munich on it. It's so pretty. It tastes really good too. It's not like incredible in your face like anything special, but it's a really solid lager. I really enjoy it.
And then your tequila, your liquor. I spoiled it. Spoilers. I
was about to say it. My shooter's a tequila. It's a Lunazol El Humoso. It's a smoked blanco, 40% alcohol. Pretty sure this is.
I'm hoping that's better than the one I had. I've had that same brand, but it was just one of the regular silvers, and I was not that was the one I was really disappointed in.
Yeah, this one was made in Guadalajara. Yeah, what are you drinking?
So tonight I am coming back to our good friends. One of the few times I'm full on revisiting a beer instead of just having leftovers for an episode. Anthem's Peach Cobbler Sour Ale. It's beautiful. I think they tweaked the recipe a little bit because it doesn't taste quite the same. But it's literally it's the same, but it feels like they did a little bit adding to it. The cinnamon comes through a lot more this time. It's 5.1.
Yeah, you keep telling me to try this one. I know I need to go find it.
I told you I was gonna try and find you a 4-pack, but by the time I got into the liquor store after that, it was sometimes they do seasonal, sometimes they do short runs. I thought it was a short run. This might be a seasonal now because we found it again. The can is also just a beautiful Mandela effect. It's a gorgeous can.
Oh yeah, Anthem makes some really beautiful artwork on their cans. I've got some Anthem light beers in there right now.
And then for my liquor, I went ahead and didn't want to do anything special, pull out nothing new, so I'm going to go back to that Hiram Walker peppermint schnapps. We don't usually have too many shots on mystery dockets, so I figured it'd be good not to break out anything new. So I bet you're wondering who the hell the Sky King is, huh, Derek?
I don't know. All I've gotten for this episode so far is you told me it's another plane jacking. So I've got no clue what Sky King means.
So Sky King is another one of those famous internet giga chads that got a big name, just like Marvin Heedmeyer, our Killdozer maker. I honestly would say Sky King is actually a lot cooler. It's a little bit of a sad story, but it's also just the impressive feats he does still are make it amazing.
Now, real quick, does he have divorced man energy?
No,
he does not. Okay,
not in my opinion. No.
Okay, then I will not dismiss him off. Do you want to do a shot to start?
I was gonna introduce the topic since we don't have any rules, and then do our shot. I was gonna do this little. We're already really there, so if you want to.
Okay. Yeah. Bros.
Cheers. So Sky King, like I said, is a little bit of a sad story, but no one but himself gets hurt at the end of the day. A lot of people are inconvenienced because they had grounded flights, but that happens for bad weather. It happens for a lot of things. So it's not that big of a deal, you know?
Yeah, so he has about the same moral complicity as like a rain shower.
I'm going to tell you the kind of theme of this episode is a depressed man, is kind of what I see personally.
Oh, there's not a good running track record of depressed men with airplanes.
Yeah, but at least no one else got hurt. So I bet you're wondering who the hell the Sky King is, right, Derek?
Yeah, because that's definitely a title that invokes a particular image.
Yeah, the internet came up with it. I didn't. So Sky King, better known as Richard Russell, was born in Key West, Florida on September 19th, 1989.
Oh no, he's from Key West. Oh, he already has divorced guy energy.
He only lived there till he was 7. He moved at 7 to Wasilla, Alaska.
Oh, wow, that is such a crazy change of scenery.
A 180.
That is for a 7-year-old. That has to be insane. It'd be like traveling to a different planet.
Yeah, I bet that was like. Yeah, he was not in the completely he was in a completely different environment. Interestingly enough, he had a funny nickname. You want to take a stab in the dark on his nickname? It's not based on his real name at all or his epithet, Sky King.
Okay, what was it in relation to?
It's there. It doesn't seemingly come from anywhere that I know of. Like, just throw out a funny, goofy nickname you would get as a kid.
Zap.
That's the same kind of vibe. So he got the nickname Bebo. No story I could find on that, but he was called Bebo. It was a friends and family kind of thing. He was very athletic. He was involved in 3 sports. What sports do you think he played, Derek?
Oh, definitely. It's Alaska, so football, hockey, and I'm guessing... Okay, what was the income of his...
It didn't go into his family's income, but I would say they were like upper middle class, from what I've seen.
Okay, I'm gonna guess probably either rugby or wrestling.
So you got 2 of the 3. So he was in football. He was a fullback. He was that was his star sport. He would later go on to college and play football. Not super well. It was one of those, he shined in high school football, but didn't really show that talent in college, like the level that they wanted him to perform at. So he didn't really get to play a whole lot in college. And he wrestled. And his third sport was track and field.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good generic.
It didn't say what events he did in track and field. Just said track and field.
Yeah, I guess that's the generic. It's Alaska. You don't have a lot of options.
So he eventually graduates high school and moves on to join the Valley City University football team. He was kind of benched the first season. He didn't really like that, so he transferred schools.
Right.
And then he went to Southwestern Oregon Community College.
Okay. I was about to say it's kind of weird to go to a completely different state for community college, and then I remembered that the junior college we went to had a whole bunch of people from the Caribbean. So
yeah, it's not that big a deal. Plus, and this is where he meets his wife. So during a Crusade for Christ meeting in college, he meets his future wife.
Oh boy, that just opened up a whole bunch of new opportunities for me.
There's not a lot known about his family life, like I said, so I don't know anything about his wife. I don't have anything to write home about, other than they got married in 2012 and eventually moved to North Bend, Oregon, where they together started a bakery.
Oh yeah, that sounds... North Bend, Oregon, and you're running a bakery. That sounds like a very pleasant life.
Yeah, they actually they kept it open for 3 years and then sold it in 2015. A quote from this article from How Stuff Works is one of my sources. Is they sold it to be closer to family, specifically his wife's family. Quote is, "We consider ourselves bakery connoisseurs and have to try a new one every place they go." Basically, they didn't really do it because they enjoyed the business part. Is like they liked bakeries, so they tried other stuff, and they also opened their own. So kind of like,
okay,
felt more like a hobby, kind of the way that quote gave me. But that's just one quote. The family so far has been like pretty out of the public eye. They haven't done too many interviews. Like, we've gotten more details in the last few years, especially with the FBI releasing 500 documents on the investigation. But for the most part, we don't know a whole lot about the families. So they moved to Sumner. I'm not sure which. I think it's Sumner, Washington. where he transferred again and went to State University Global Campus, where he was majoring in social science. And this is where he got involved in aviation, and he started working for Horizon Air. I don't know if his entire employment history with them, but I do know at the time of our incident, he was one of the guys on the ground on the tarmac. He would tow planes to and from areas from storage or get it ready to go out, stuff like that. He usually wasn't actually in them. He was the little truck dolly thingies normally.
Yeah, he's flight crew.
His goal upon completion of his degree, which would have been in 2017, a year before this, was to get his degree and either become a member of management or be a military officer. It didn't give any information on why he didn't get his degree in 2017. Maybe, hey, failed a class or two. I know plenty of people who had to drop classes. It no big deal, but I do know that he did not get it when he was supposed to originally. And this is his third college, so stuff can be held up. Or I can't remember if I added this. He wanted to be a management position with Horizon Air or be commissioned as an officer in the military. Didn't say what branch or anything, but that's what a lot of people do. They'll get their degree and they'll go commission if they go into the military.
Yeah, he gives me like when I was in ROTC in my freshman year in college. There were just certain guys that gave off Air Force vibes, and this guy, besides just his stuff with planes, he's giving me Air Force vibes.
I mean, it makes the most sense.
Yeah,
to be honest. He was also heavily religious and heavily involved in his local church. It doesn't give too many details on the stuff I listened to / watched. Wendigoon went over a little bit, but there was nothing that stuck out to me. Wendigoon's also one of the videos I used. He did a video that's how I found out. He did one 6 months ago about this. Since I've already mentioned Wendigoon's video, I'm going to go ahead and give my sources right now just so we can get it out of the way. Count Dankula, do you know who that is? You've probably seen his dog on the internet.
Yeah, I know who Count Dankula is.
Okay. He's an asshole troll, but there were only so many actual exposés that went into the details, so I had to use his video. I used Wendigoon's video, Coffee House Crime, people.com /howstuffworks.com. The URL is people.howstuffworks.com, so I imagine it's a subsidiary People. But the main logo on the website shows, the top of the page shows How Stuff Works. And then later when we get into the air traffic logs, I got it from a website called namethatloon.net.
That's good.
The only kind of inkling that something like this could have happened in his life, he wasn't one of those people like Marvin Heemeyer where it was obviously coming down the road or anything like that. And it doesn't feel like it was a snap kind of thing that he did this. I feel like it was just a spontaneous thing. I don't think he planned this at all. As a few years prior to our story, Russell and one of his coworkers were caught just dicking around in a cockpit of a plane, flipping switches and all that. But that was the closest thing they got to oh, he's gonna hijack a fucking plane. No, steal a plane, because hijacking requires there be people in it.
Oh, so he just steals? Okay.
Yeah, no, he does not. No one's in it. Nothing. I'll just go ahead and get into it. On August 10th, 2018, Russell, while at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, which is known as SeaTac, he was in the process of stowing away a Horizon Air Q400 aircraft number N449QX.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Bombardier was the brand Q400 that was owned by Horizon Air. It was built by Bombardier Aviation in 2012 and equipped with two Pratt & Whitney PW150A engines. It was first flown in 2012 and delivered brand new to Horizon Air that same year. And it had just been landed from its flight that day. It was not supposed to be out. It wasn't it had just come from Victoria, British Columbia, apparently.
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures. The Q400 is a really interesting design.
You want to know a bigger fact that makes this story really, really fucking impressive about the Q400?
Ooh, what's that?
It is one of those aircrafts that are intended for two pilots at all times, no matter your skill level. Essentially, it is impossible to fly solo.
Ooh, okay.
Not literally, but it is borderline impossible.
Yeah, it's such an interesting because it's like a top wing design. So the wings are the wings are attached at the top of the fuselage, and it's a prop plane. It's not a jet.
It's a like this story like is almost impossible. Like how the hell did he pull this off? So I will mention this now that may or may not have played some video games was in a reference to later on. Russell will mention that while he has had no formal training, he doesn't have a pilot's license. That he had played some video games, and we're not sure if like he's talking an actual sim or like some actual video games.
Okay. Okay. So you know how I do these on your episodes is I'm starting to build like a profile for this guy.
Yes, you profile our people on the mystery docket. What's your profile hitting?
I think this guy is autistic.
I could see it. I could see it. I'm So the only indication, like I said, is he played some video games, is what he said. And when the FBI eventually investigated his place, like just see about his possessions, they did not find a simulator. That doesn't mean anything necessarily because he could have like tried at other places, theoretically. But to pull off what he does, I think he would have needed to have one at home personally. If he was, unless he was just naturally this skilled, like some people can just figure it the fuck out. Your autism theory.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where like I wonder why he didn't just go and try to be a pilot. Like it sounds like he had some natural skill in the end.
It genuinely from this story it does. Because what happens is he's getting it all ready to be stowed away in the cargo plane cargo area 1 north end of SeaTac. But what happens is I guess he was messing with the chucks and it starts rolling away. You know, like for campers or whatever, you have those little plastic brick thingies that keep the wheels from rolling.
Yeah. I'm just imagining him like going up and doing the dad thing where you kick the tires to make sure the tires are full, but then he missed and he hit the blocks and it just started rolling.
Yeah, so he hops in there, and takes control of it. But instead of just putting it back to where it's supposed to be, whatever, he starts to maneuver it out towards the runway.
Oh my god. Oh, you are painting a picture in my head about what was going through this guy's brain.
I think it was impulsivity.
I think it was 100% impulsive. He just realized that he was behind the stick of an actual plane that was fueled up and ready to go and just decided to go for it. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah, that's essentially what happened. From there, he maneuvers there, but the way he maneuvered the traffic on the tarmac, I don't know like the maneuver, like how certain parts are supposed to like be, but when he would come across like another airplane that was supposed to go, he would stop, let them go, and then he would go. But he was treating it like highway traffic. He wasn't doing actual air traffic control stuff.
Oh,
he wasn't doing it properly.
Like just yelling at all the other planes, get out of the left lane, get out of the left lane.
So they start trying to hail him, and he's not answering. He somehow manages to take off.
Now, can you imagine the air traffic controller just, right? Hey, Russell.
No, they don't. At this point, they don't know who's in it. They don't know it's Russell at this point. The only thing they know is they have an airplane that's not necessarily like that's not following flight order. They don't even know that this is not supposed to be like going in the air. What tips them off that is, hey, someone is probably stealing it, or like this is amiss, is when he's taking off, the wheels are smoking, presumably because he didn't turn his landing gear / wheel brakes off.
Does this cause problems later?
It could have if he tried to land.
Buddy, I don't like this.
Yeah. They went ahead and got of air traffic control because of the smoking. They had been trying to hail them because like, hey, they're not following procedure. Blah 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 blah. And then they figured out, hey, this is what's going on.
Yeah, there's some asshole vaping on the tarmac.
Yeah, sure. In response, two F-15C Eagles were sent out from Oregon's Air National Guard from the 142nd Fighter Wing under the command of NORAD.
I'm always really amused by like in these stories, like when they send out like fighter jets to go and follow one of these like stolen planes, like because like really.
I think it's because they're trying to make sure it doesn't turn into another 9/11, so it doesn't hit someplace.
Yeah, and I can see like that situation, like if they decide that like this, they're going to try to run this into a building, but like in most situations where a plane has been stolen, that's not what has happened. And I just think it's really funny, the idea of sending up jets, because presumably the only thing they can really do is just shoot it down.
Essentially, yeah. So they were sent out from the Portland Air National Guard base, and they were armed with AIM-9 Sidewinders and AIM 110 AMRAD air-to-air missiles. And they went like full like pedal to the metal. They went ahead and went supersonic, like just getting there. Boom. We had sonic booms on the way.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They sent out a refueler tanker to follow it plane. Nothing really. He doesn't really play a part, but that's part of the story.
Yeah, what? Because I know how difficult it is to refuel midair. Like, I've heard the stories. It is a really intensive process. So, like, what did they expect him to actually be? I don't know. They know better than I do.
So, they were finally able to get a hold of him. It's everybody stand by for departure. Just hold on and wait for me a second. That's the first, like, no, hold on. No, I misread that. So this is what the air traffic control first said. Air traffic on Charlie lineup, runway 16C, say your call sign. Basically like, hey, what's going on? Just trying to investigate. And then the air traffic control is like,
yeah, basically just saying like, hey guy over there, who are you? What are you doing?
yeah, they're just trying to investigate. Then ATC is like, everybody's standing by for departure. Just hold on with me for a second. And then our man Russell goes, man, I'm a ground service agent. I don't know what that is. Start it up, get it to go a couple of hours, I guess. But I would. So once, as soon as he's starting to talk to them, you can already tell he's a little bit like
in over his head.
I don't want to say delirious. He's like he's yeah, he's drowning. He's like nervous, scared. Start it up, get it to go a couple of hours, I guess. Wouldn't know how to land it. Wasn't really planning on landing it.
I don't think he was planning on taking it. I think he ended up in that cockpit and just kind of ran on instinct.
Yeah, no, he did. Like, I'm pretty confident that's what happened. You can't really tell what he says at the first part of this, assuming it might be what I wanted according to this website. Just some guy who knows it all about, who knows how, basically he's asking for someone to kind of coach him at this point, who knows how to fly one of those aircrafts, but we'll see what we can do. This air traffic control is saying, hey, I'll get someone to kind of coach you. Alrighty. Yeah, I just kind of want to do a couple of maneuvers, see what I can do before I put it down.
Yeah. What I'm thinking that he's thinking at this point is like, oh shit, what have I done? And then slowly realizing it's already in the air. I might as well play with it.
Basically, that's the vibe I got. So it's like this transcript like has like a missing part of the like whatever was being said between the two of them. So it's like, so I can reach out to you a little easier, air traffic control, Russell, a little bit, and then air traffic control is like, sorry, say that again, Russell. Sorry, my mic came off. I threw up a little bit.
Oh, that's so good. Oh my god, this guy is terrifying.
Oh yeah, no, I thought it was turbulence is why he threw up, but it may be nerves too. Shoot, man, I'm sorry about this. I hope this doesn't ruin your day.
Man, more feeding into my autism theory, because like He is clearly terrified, but still like trying to go for it anyways.
Air traffic control is like, just flying the plane around. Do you seem comfortable with that? Russell's, oh, hell yeah. It's a blast. I've played video games before, so yeah, I know what I'm doing a little bit.
Oh my god. Oh, I could. Oh, my butthole's puckering. My butthole is puckering. I.
Air traffic control. Okay, you can see all the terrain around you. You've got no issues with visibility or anything. Nope, everything's peachy clean. I just did a little circle around Mount Rainier. It's beautiful. I think I got some gas to go check out the Olympics. And yeah, so the Olympic Mountains. I was actually confused at this part on the transcript when I was reading the transcript, and everyone brought up the Olympics. I was like, wait, did we host the Olympics that year? No, they're talking the Olympic Mountains, obviously. It was in South Korea that year, the Olympics, and it was the Winter Olympics, so it wouldn't have been around this time anyway. Air traffic control is like, okay, and Rich, are you able to tell what altitude you're at? Because I threw up all inside it. It's bad. Russell responds, ... To join. I was thinking about it. Probably a good thing I didn't. Yeah, it's all mumbo jumbo. I have no idea what all that means. I don't want to know how to punch it in. I'm off autopilot. You taking me to the jets? He's like, they're going to follow me.
I'm on the edge of my seat, honestly.
Air traffic controls. Nah, I'm not taking to any jets. I'm actually keeping you away from aircraft that are trying to land at SeaTac. So the air traffic control is kind of just trying to minimize all that. Okay, yeah, I don't want to screw with that. I'm glad you're not, screwing up everyone else's day on the account of me. Can we just shut down? I'm down to 2,100. I started at like 30-something. So they're talking about how many pounds of fuel he has.
Yeah, how long has he been up at this point? Yeah, you said this only was like an hour and a half.
I feel like it's a couple minutes. It's an hour and 15 minutes approximately that he's flying.
What a guy.
Yeah, I don't know what the burnout is like on takeoff, but it's burned quite a bit faster than I expected. Air traffic control. Okay, there's a runway just off to your right side in about a mile. Do you see it? That's McCord Field. Russell's like, oh man, those guys would rough me up if I tried landing there. I think I might mess something up there too. I wouldn't want to do that. I'll hopefully. Oh, they've probably got anti-aircraft. I think your autism theory, like this is the first time I've fully read through it. That out of, oh, they've probably got anti-aircraft at the very least is like an ADHD response or something like, oh shit, they have anti-aircraft.
Okay, I'm gonna revise my theory a little bit. I still think this guy is probably autistic. He might also just be really dumb and got lucky.
Or a spaz, like.
Yeah, I can think of like some of the guys that I grew up like that I was in like middle school with who would do something like this. I could see these talking like this while they were trying to steal an airplane.
Air traffic controls. No, they don't have any of that stuff. We're just trying to find a place for you to land. Yeah, I'm not quite ready to bring it down just yet, but holy smokes, I've got to stop looking down at the fuel because it's going down quick. Okay, says air traffic control. Rich, if you could start a left-hand turn, and then we'll take you down to southeast, please. Russell, this is probably like jail time for life, huh? I mean, I would hope so for a guy like me.
Oh my god, dude. I don't even know what to say at this point. This is wild.
Oh yeah, like I knew this story was going to enrapture you. This is feeling a lot different, me reading off like a transcript of like the conversation, but I feel like this tells the story super accurately though.
Yeah, I'm getting all the beats. I'm getting like a blow by blow. This is great.
Yeah. I was planning on jumping around, but like this blow by blow was like you're just hanging on. Air traffic control. Well, Rich, we're not going to worry or think about that, but could you start a left-hand turn, please? And he's going to try and help you out here a little bit, okay? I think presumably they're talking about the pilot that's going to help him. And I think you've got some questions, Rich. I've got a pilot with us, and if you got any questions, you can ask him now. Russell. Well, first off, you're a little breaking up a little bit. I might be too far away. What's the distance on this frequency? Um, you're very calm, collected boys. Hey, air traffic control. Apparently a grounds crewman with Horizon, I guess, and right now he's just flying around and needs some help controlling his aircraft. Russell, nah, I mean, I don't need that much help. I played some video games before. I would like to figure out how to get this cabin altitude, like, I don't know where the box is. I would like to make it pressurized or something so I'm not lightheaded. Yeah, I don't know anything about the autopilot. I just kind of hand flying right now. Brother, remember what I said. This is a two-person airplane he's flying.
What?
And he's just literally, as far as we know, might not even have simulator experience. Just flying it kind of shockingly well for literally never pulling anything up in the air.
Yeah. What? Oh, what's that game with the? Hold on. It'll come to me. It's like he's.
There is a Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't think it was, at least the version that got really big was out yet. I think that was 2019, 2020 that was big. But
World of Warplanes.
Okay, that was pretty big at the time. Could you imagine if that was his video game?
Oh, Oh man, I wonder. I wonder if this guy had a Steam account that we could go look at. I bet World of Warplanes is on there.
God, I wish we could find his Steam account. That would be beautiful. Air traffic control. Okay, do you know how fast you're going? Russell. Minimum wage. We'll chalk it up to that. So like he's clearly in like a very panicked like headspace right now. So some of his answers are not lining up either. And obviously this is not like a perfect transcript because I can see there's some stuff like kind of like you can just kind of tell it's cut out. We'll chalk it up to that. Maybe it'll grease some gears a little bit with the higher ups. Yeah. This is something I saw, I want to say either on the Wikipedia because I was just skimming it or on the How Stuff Works article. But the what did we say he was? Like the crew, the
ground crew.
The ground crew, the whatever. The ground crew is actually being paid less than the airport's minimum wage. Not like, I don't know if it was the city's minimum wage at the time, but the minimum wage for like that like airport was $15 an hour and they were being paid less than that. I don't know what he was getting paid though. I don't know if he was getting paid actual minimum wage like the $7.25 an hour or if he was getting paid less than 15 but more than the $7.25, but
he's trying to rationalize why he's done this in his own mind, and whatever it is he's come up with, he's tried to turn, kind of thinking like, well, maybe this is just a protest.
I think I lost you guys in the middle. I'm coming back now. Inaudible, something good here. So this is the only time, like, so the entire time that you're talking about, like you're listening to the logs, because a couple of the videos I watched, like played some of the recordings. He never once like gets angry or like irate. You can tell he's nervous or like, but he's pretty respectful the entire time except for right here. And like this next little bit, like it feels like maybe like a bipolar snap, kinda maybe. I'm not a doctor or anything. Russell says, "Damn it, Andrew! People's lives are at stake here." And it was it was like, I think he was getting like kind of frustrated with trying to pressurize the cabin, and I think that's what kind of made the little bit of snap right there. Air traffic control's like, "Now, Rich, don't say stuff like that." Russell, "No, I told you I don't want to hurt no one. I just want you to whisper sweet nothings in my ear." Every time I hear him say that, like on one of the videos, it just like it's goofy and weird, but like in like an endearing way. Like he's trying to cheer the air traffic control up. Like throughout this entire thing, he's like peppering hints in and being like, this has already happened. We kind of know where it goes. It's very clear that he doesn't intend on surviving this, like through that whole thing.
Yeah, oh my god, this guy has watched Top Gun so many times. Oh, just so many times.
Russell, you got anything better than trying to land it? Like, how do you put the landing gear down? Air traffic control. Put your power at probably 50%. That would be the top two gauges right in the center of the glass display there. And then press, well, tell me, do you do your power at 50% or tell me what you've got? Russell, yeah, I got like 20 idle. Well, that's too low. Bring it up to like 50. There's a sign at the bottom of the HDG, and it has a little blue M on it. You can crank it around, and I tell you what, let's do this. Push. You see that little HD button with that little thumb wheel? Russell, I didn't know you could do that with these things. So if you were to do it, how would you do it? Well, I would try and air traffic control. Well, I would try to figure out how to use the pilot first, not concentrate so much on flying the airplane. Russell, okay, this is I think a moment of like insanity / incredulity, like so full of nerves, like almost trying to crack a joke, but maybe not necessarily. Russell's like, hey, you think if I land this successfully, Alaska would give me a job as a pilot? Air traffic control. I think they would give you a job doing anything if you can pull this off. Russell. Okay, so here's a little bit where it seems like he might be getting a little anti-Semitic, but I could be wrong. Russell says, yeah, right. Nah, I'm a white guy. Russell, yeah, you do your best. Hey, FFA guy, are you on? So, like, he kind of, like, insinuates, like, even if he, like, didn't get in trouble and he landed successfully because of his skin color, he wouldn't have, like, gotten any, like, accolades for it. Or, like, if they were, like, impressed.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. This guy's just saying that
I don't... Also, he's in a high-stress environment right there. I'm not sure if that necessarily means he's anti-Semitic or if he's just cracking something, like trying to crack a joke or some shit because he's nervous. Like, that has to be, like, a nerve-wracking experience.
Yeah, that's just a joke about, like, what is it called? Oh, shit, what's the term? I completely forgot. God damn it, I hate it when this happens. Yeah, I guess they use the term DEI now, as that's the big buzzword about it.
Diversity, equity, inclusion.
Yeah, there's affirmative action is the term I was thinking of was affirmative action. But
Do you think he's just making fun of that, or do you think he's actually like being anti-Semitic about it?
I think the two aren't mutually exclusive, but I don't.
Do you, based on your profile you're building with that one, because that's the only comment that and only time like through the story that we know of, he makes anything that seems like it could be taken that way. Do you think it was meant that way?
No, I think he's just a generally conservative guy who made a joke about like it's the same kind of jokes that I hear from my uncle. Like it's just a dumb joke about affirmative action.
Air traffic control. Yeah, I'm still here, Rich. Yeah, but kind of not either. If you wanted to land, probably the best bet is that runway just up ahead and to your left. Again, that's McCord Field. If you wanted to try that, maybe the best way to set up and see if you can land there, or just like the pilot suggest, another option would be over Puget Sound into the water. Russell, dang, did you talk to McCord yet? Because I don't think I'd be happy with you telling me that I could land like that because I could mess some stuff up. That's another thing I think he was super worried about. That I think he was worried about collateral.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he thought like I don't know if he had decided at this point he was going to crash it. Spoiler, he crashes it intentionally, or if he just wasn't confident that he could, like, hey, I'm not sure I can land this. I don't want to hurt other people, kind of thing.
Yeah, he doesn't strike me as a guy who's out for blood or anything. Like he just
Yeah, no, I don't think this is like a hit thing. Um, they're talking about basically landing right here, and then there's this weird reference that I could not find the story of, but apparently it happened in 2018. There was a mama orca with its baby that was somewhere like that all over the news, I guess, and like it didn't give me enough details to try and search up the event. Um, I don't. I think I remember something about maybe the baby had passed away and the mother was grieving the baby or something. I could be wrong on that. I don't remember enough details or didn't find enough details to like give you the story on that. But he does mention going to see an orca. They try and convince him like, hey, uh, you should land here. Basically, from here on, they're like what I'm skipping over is they're trying to convince him to land, and they introduce him to like the nearby aircraft. But I don't see anything on the aircraft really. He starts talking about the Olympics, the Olympic mountains. He flies over and just is like, "Holy crap! It's man, have you been to the Olympics? These guys are gorgeous. Holy smokes!" Like he's bragging about how gorgeous it looks flying. I bet you staring over, like looking at a mountain range while flying a plane would be fucking like picturesque. Okay, here. So I almost had a different intro for you.
Right.
Your other intro was going to be something to do with clearing a barrel by 10 feet.
Wait, what?
Yes. So let me find where it starts up. Alrighty. Hey, pilot guy, can this thing do a backflip? Do you think?
Oh, dude, don't try to be cute. Don't try to be cute now. This is just not the time.
I think I'm going to land it like in a safe kind of manner. I'm thinking I'm going to try and do a barrel. Then if that goes well, I'll just nose down and call it a night. Air traffic control. Rich, before we do that, let's think about this. I got another pilot coming up, Pilot Joel here in just a minute or two, and we'll be able to give you some advice on what to do next. We call that a bug. It's a little bitty rectangle. It's just somewhere around that compass. Do you see that? Kind of light-headed, dizzy. You know, I don't. I thought they said somewhere that he pressurizes the cabin, but right here he's talking about being lightheaded, so maybe he didn't get it pressurized.
Maybe it was pressurized the whole time, and he's just so nervous he's gonna pass out.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, like your body can only sustain adrenaline for so long. That's a short term.
Yeah, you're right. They're kind of doing that. They talk about. Okay, so we're mentioning how many pounds of fuel he has left. You remember where we were at? We started at 300 pounds. I can't remember what it said at the beginning. And then we were at 21. Can you guess where we're at now? Pounds of fuel.
Oh, are we closing in on 1,000?
We're under 1,000.
Oh shit.
760.
Oh boy, that's not good.
Air traffic control. Okay, Rich, thank you. Do you have an idea how much fuel you left? Russell. Aw, man, not enough to get by like 760 pounds. Yeah, I'm just going to do this barrel roll real quick. Well, no need to do that. If you could just take a turn to the right, then I'll tell you when to stop turning and you just keep it level from there. Russell, I wouldn't mind just shooting the shit with you guys, but it's all business, you know? I feel like I need to be, what do you think, like 5,000 feet off to pull this barrel roll off? Air traffic control. We don't want you to get hurt either. If you could, I see you're still turning to the right. Do you want to maybe start taking a turn back to your left a little bit? If you could be, you sure would be a hero if you could pull off this landing. So this man pulls off the barrel roll.
What? No.
Yes, with 10 feet from the water to spare.
No. Oh, dude. No. No.
Why no? He pulled off a fucking barrel roll.
No, he doesn't have the right to pull that off.
It doesn't have the right.
Yeah, he's done everything wrong. He's oh my.
He's flying a fucking plane. He did enough right.
Man, that barrel roll should have killed him. Like it.
I think he thought the barrel roll was going to kill him too. Like, I genuinely think he thought that was going to. Captain Bill, this is another person. All right, Rich, this is Captain Bill. Congratulations, you did that. Now let's try and land that airplane safely and not hurt anybody on the ground. All right. No, damn it, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to. I was kind of hoping that would be it, you know?
Oh my god.
Clearly saying he thought he was going to die from the barrel roll. In Wendigoon's video, he actually was able to get the logs from the 2 fighter jets that were following him, and they're talking to each other, and it sounds like a very professional military role. It's like, well, that just happened. Holy shit. But like in like we're being recorded, this is military shit. We can't actually say
Yeah.
that was impressive. That's kind of what Wendigoon said, but that's also kind of what I took away too. Is like, oh, this guy just did this.
Yeah, the fighter pilots can't really
Admit that was sick.
admit that was sick. Yeah.
They tried to direct him towards the Pacific Ocean. He eventually, the fighter jets do that. He eventually crashes at 8:43 local time on Curtin Island in Puget Sound, Pierre County, Washington, killing himself and destroying the aircraft. It says that it was nose down. The investigation kind of like isn't quite sure if it was intentional or if like the adrenaline was starting to wear off. That maybe the cabin wasn't pressurized yet. Like I said, maybe he just like at that point. It's also saying he should have been fully fackled too. But you're talking about someone who's probably running one of the world's biggest adrenaline highs. Thought he was going to crash doing a barrel roll.
Oh yeah.
There's so much that could have like happened there that he may not have intentionally killed himself, like with the directly like, okay, I'm nosing it down, but it also sounds like it could have very well been him intentionally nosing it down. From what the family has said in interviews, he seemed to have been struggling with his mental health around the time of the incident. So I don't know if this was like once he got in there, it was like, okay, this is a way I can die. But I think what's up in the air, I think he was like, whether he thought it was going to be him making the choice to crash, i.e. killing himself, or he didn't see that there was a way of him realistically landing properly kind of thing.
Right.
I don't think he really had the confidence in himself to have landed it to begin with.
Yeah.
I think he picked right where he crashed it because he thought he was going to be safe from causing any casualties or anything like that. But what so happened to actually have happened when he landed is he didn't cause any casualties, but he came super close to hitting an occupied cabin. Not like, okay, within feet or whatever, like, but closer than if he had just done it in the water or whatever. Like a cabin that was occupied on that island.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
And he ends up starting a 2-acre fire. It took him about an hour to get out to the island. They extinguish it. It didn't... A little bit of... It was a thick brushed island. It's nothing too, like, major. Like, yeah, they lost an airplane. Yeah, they lost a little bit of force. But I feel like the collateral damage wasn't too big, personally, on this story.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse.
It could have been so much worse. I think that was partly why I don't think it was just him. I want to die up here, or like when I want to crash it kind of thing. I think he was too scared to even try to land. Like kind of. I think that's why he kept refusing to go to like the places they were telling him to land.
Yeah, he actually probably caused less damage doing that than he would have trying to land the plane, I imagine.
Yeah, and like again, he's got no formal training. He's got nothing. Like this is funny enough. When the CEO of Horizon Air came out and was like, "Hey, he doesn't have a pilot's license," he called the aerial maneuvers. I think he did more than just a barrel roll, but that was the only time like they really like acknowledged, oh, he did like an insane stunt. Because I think some of the maneuvers he probably did do were like probably just like simple things you can do that's not really skill based with the plane. He called them incredible, and they did not know that he had gotten that level of experience.
I mean, I guess, but like, time and a place. Read the room.
I mean, he became an internet Giga Chad, so...
Yeah, I don't know.
They were still cleaning up the debris as of 2019, with pieces of the wreckage still being found on the island. Some of the residents had to bear the cost of cleanup, and they did negotiate like reimbursement with Alaska Airlines insurers. The aircraft was worth $30 million, which was paid with no deductibles from the insurance policy. Another theory brought forward actually in a Rolling Stone interview / investigation report from 2021 is they thought he might have. This is another like discussion we could have about like contact sports, and I know Jimmy and James have talked about it before. It was possible he had a CTE that was undiagnosed, chronic traumatic epilepsy.
Oh.
Basically, he could have had like concussions that went undiagnosed from football.
Yeah, that actually makes so much sense. That actually, like, that would actually help, like, explain the impulsive.
Yeah, I genuinely think it could explain that. He unfortunately passed away at the age of 28. And I genuinely think like it's a bit of a sad story, but it's also like kind of inspiring too, because like this man pulled all that stuff off when he had like no real right to do that, like skill wise, not like whatever.
I guess. Yeah, I guess. I guess that's one lesson you can take from it.
Yeah, I'm gonna play a little bit of I feel sorry for all these people, but not most sorry, from our same name person from Crime and Sports and Jimmy and James, because I love them. This article from How Stuff Works mentions another Richard Russell. Senator Richard Russell, who died in 1971, was a person who was opposing civil rights litigation. So I don't really feel bad for this man. But still, I wanted to throw that little piece of trivia in there. So, Derek, what do you think of the Sky King? Is he an internet Giga Chad?
Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of getting the same impression or the same opinion of him that I have with Marvin Haymeyer.
I feel like Marvin's more delusional, like not in like a I have delusions of grandeur. Like I think Marvin's full psychotic break. I think Russell's is more like impulsivity kind of shit, and like Russell, I think you can argue fully what a lot of people tried to argue with Marvin, that he didn't really intend on hurting anyone. Like I don't think Russell intended to hurt anyone but maybe himself, and that's still kind of up in the air for me if he intended to like actually harm himself. Like I think he knew like as a possibility he will not survive this because like he didn't know if he could land it.
Yeah, I will give him that. He doesn't strike me as a necessarily bad guy. Kind of like the sort of vibe I got off of Haymeyer.
With Haymeyer, I feel there's more malice involved. I don't think there's any malice in this. I can actually get behind this story. It's actually really a sad story, but it's a fun story even though it's sad for me.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, it is a fun story. I don't know. I think it just strikes me as like the same sort of like guy with deep issues and maybe some self-control issues that he has just never bothered to ever try to deal with, who just happened in this case to have access to an airplane.
I think you're pretty on point with that, because it's clearly like his jumping around like the colleges kind of like shows the kind of just trying to find whatever will do what I want it to college kind of thing. And that could be just me reading that. I still think I have personally, like, even though I've kind of revised my opinion on Haymeyer a little bit, because like the more I've looked at it, the more it's clear that the town was more malicious than I thought, because I've not necessarily just did a little bit more research, but I've also seen more stuff on it, had more opinions, talked about it. I feel like it was a little bit more malicious than originally I thought from the city's part, but still, I think Sky King deserves the internet fame more than Haymeyer does, is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh yeah, it definitely is, but it's if we don't have shit like this happen, where would we be at with our episodes, Derek?
I just gotta think stealing planes when you don't know how to fly a plane in general is kind of just a bad thing to do. I don't think this guy was malicious, but I do think he was recklessly dangerous.
No, I wasn't arguing that. But I think it's a fun story, like I said. Where can they find you on social media, Derek?
They can find me at Visigoth. The first I is a 1, the O is a 0. They can find me on Blue Sky. The first I is an I, the O is a 0. Tim, give them all the stuff.
They can find me on Blue Sky and Twitter at Tim, aka Otis, and they can find the podcast on Facebook and Instagram at the Alexander Society Pod, Alex Society Pod on Twitter and Blue Sky, and Alexander Society on TikTok. We hope you enjoyed us today. And if you did, please give us a rate and review on your streaming platform of choice. We'll see you next time.
Bye.